Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching. We're at the Exhibits Gallery of the Sternberg Museum of Natural History at 3000 Sternberg Drive in Hayes with the Education Director, David Levering. Talking a little about Sternberg, the exhibits you'll be able to see this summer during the Sternberg Museum of Natural History's open house. Almost a year now, right, David?
Yeah, so I've been here since August of 2013, and I've been having a really good time out here, kind of working on public programming and education outreach stuff for the city of Hayes and the surrounding community.
You really got involved with paleontology and the work that kind of like Sternberg does at an early age, didn't you?
Yeah, so I got like a little dinosaur pop-up book when I was like 5 from my uncle, and that was pretty much it. Like I saw that and I was like, that looks good, I'll do that right there.
And from that point, talk about your education background and process.
So standard kindergarten through high school, and then I got to college. I went to University of Oregon and did a degree in geology. When I got there, though, I discovered that Oregon doesn't really have any dinosaur fossils, which makes doing dinosaur stuff in that state very difficult. So I got more into mammal paleontology at that point, and that's where I've kind of been really focusing my efforts through my undergraduate degree there and through my master's degree at Oklahoma State, which I just finished last year.
Well, and you probably have heard reference to the previous director at Sternberg, who was doing very much involved, Dr. Jerry Choate,
Yep.
doing very much mammal paleontology, if you will.
Yes, yeah, so I am familiar with that, and also Dr. Z's work with some more micro-mammal stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I do is based on mammals, but it's more like applied paleoecology, so looking at living systems and habitats and ecosystems today, and then applying that to getting a better understanding of how these ancient ecosystems would have functioned with all of their organisms.
And importantly enough, David, it all ties together, doesn't it? It's just one
Absolutely.
seamless continuum.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of my favorite things about paleontology, is being able to make those comparisons and look at how things have changed, but also how a lot of things have really stayed the same over time.
What is it about dinosaurs, you think, David, that attracts young people?
I think that dinosaurs are very attractive because we don't have them anymore, and most of them are quite large. They've got big teeth, and it's almost like with young kids being able to name them, you're gaining some kind of mastery over these animals by just being able to say that's a thus and such, and it's like they're like real life monsters that kids first get into, and it makes them an excellent kind of gateway to sciences.
For example, the guy that we're sitting in front of here, talk about the mosasaur.
So yeah, this is one of our new state fossils as of the past couple months ago, was signed into law, Mosasaurus. This one in particular that's our state fossil is called Tylosaurus. It's our state marine fossil. And these ones would have been swimming around in the ocean that used to cover the state of Kansas back during the Cretaceous, where a lot of our marine fossils are from. And we also have a great diversity of other mosasaurs here in the state, one of which we just dug up over in Quinter with the help of some high school students, and another one we'll be working on during one of our paleontology camps for high school students in July.
We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Here at the Exhibits Gallery, we also have another of the state fossils on exhibit.
Yeah. So the other state fossils are state flying fossil, Pteranodon. It's a flying reptile, not a dinosaur. Kind of like Tylosaurus is a swimming reptile, but neither one of them are dinosaurs. And really neat animals, these pterosaurs, Pteranodon specifically. Just really remarkable feats of biological engineering. Very lightweight animals, kind of like a big living hang glider.
And the Pteranodon was actually the focus, the symbol of Sternberg.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a very close connection to that particular animal. We're hoping we can always hoping we can find more material, but also this summer with all the different field expeditions we're doing.
Talk about the current exhibits at Sternberg, would you, David?
Yeah, so we've got our fossil galleries, which are a huge draw and a big reason why folks should come and visit us. We've also got our Be the Dinosaur exhibit going on right now, where people can go and get in like a computer simulation and control either a T-Rex or a Triceratops and try to survive in this Cretaceous environment that's being simulated in the computer. And so you have to like, find food, avoid getting eaten by other animals, find water. It's a really neat way to kind of interact with this prehistoric world. The other one is our Giants of the Ice Age exhibit, which is like woolly mammoths, dire wolves, saber-toothed tigers. We've got this amazing giant cave bear skeleton, like these bears that used to live here in North America that are bigger than polar bears are today. So yeah, we've also got things like our poison arrow frogs that just went in earlier in the fall. Our Cretaceous dioramas, which we have we have models of these fossil creatures that used to be living in the United States and Kansas. And also our Discovery Room.
And there's also the Howard Reynolds Nature Trail.
Yes, which are starting to green up again after the winter. And those are a really excellent resource that we'll be using for a lot of programs this summer too.
Now talk about the website for highlights of people that might want to go in and look and see the hours, the whole scope of Sternberg, if you would.
Sure, so you can just Google Sternberg Museum. We're the first thing that'll pop up. Sternberg.fhu.edu, I believe. And you'll find things like our hours, which is 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday, and I believe it's 1 to 6 on Sundays. You'll also find information about our kind of part day or programs going on during the summer, as well as our science camps that are taking place this summer.
I want to talk about some of those programs, David, if we could,
Sure.
Particularly your scholarship program. I believe
Yeah.
this is a new emphasis for Sternberg for children's paleontology expedition. Now talk about that.
Yeah, so we had a couple scholarships donated this summer, which we were really grateful and very fortunate to have. The first was from Dr. Howard Reynolds that basically provided full ride scholarships for all the students coming into the K through 5 Paleontology Camp. So all those students basically get to go for free. They had to write a letter of interest to get into the camp, but other than that, we've got 10 students in there right now, so we're full up and really excited to get that going on June 2nd. The other one was a 2 full ride donated scholarships for our high school paleontology camp, and those are each a value of $1,000 a piece that'll let students participate in our 2-week field camp, where we'll go out and dig up a mosasaur and then come back here and do some stuff.
These young people will actually go into the field with you then.
Yes, yeah. So we're doing 7 days of field work for the first half of this program, digging up a mosasaur skeleton and also doing some other field activities as well.
And in conjunction with Fort Hays State University and Dr. Paul Adams, you've got some science camps that are coming this summer as well.
Yeah, so the K through 5 Fun with Fossils and the high school paleontology field crew camp are both under the same tent of the rest of the field camps. So we're also running camps for middle school students. So they're 3-day, 2-night trips where we go out and kind of explore Kansas natural history and wildlife. And then the K through 5 camps are all taking place here in the museum. We'll get kids out on the nature trails that you mentioned. We'll have them doing stuff in the galleries in our classroom. And then the high school camp is like very field-based. It's a much more substantial program than the other ones just because of the length of it.
I think during the school year, of course, one of the most visited and highly visible parts of Sternberg is the Discovery Room, where field trips come to see the Discovery Room. And also, probably kids will be coming back during the summer to see it again, I imagine. What will they see this year?
So right now in the Discovery Room, we've got a lot of live animals, which the kids really enjoy, different live animals from here in the state of Kansas. We have a nocturnal animals room, which is one of my favorites. You can see things like bats and tortoise and toads and all these other animals. You kind of come out more at night than during the day. We've also got a whale skull, or at least part of a whale skull up in the Discovery Room, and just a lot of interactive science activities and displays that the kids can get involved with. We're also going to be putting in some iPads sometime in the next few months so that there are some different learning styles that may cater more to things like iPad games and things like that, as opposed to some of the other stuff we have in there right now. So it's an excellent place for kids that are interested in science to go and have some hands-on activities they can do in addition to the gallery displays we have here already.
And you have a little help in the discovery room from a long-time Sternberg employee.
Yes, yeah. Thea Hagen, who's been here for quite a long time, runs our discovery room. She takes care of all of our animals. And if you're up there and you see her, definitely say hi. She works very hard to keep all of our animals healthy and happy.
Well, I know I believe it was 1999 when the discovery room was created, and had not been remodeled since that time, but thanks to a grant from McDonald's, a couple of $3,500 grants and a couple of private donations. That was redone and new things added, interactive materials as well as the live animals, which have always been a part of it. Yeah,
so those are a really strong component of the discovery room. Getting, like I said, kids, even adults find things in there that there's like new and interesting. Hands-on specimens that kids can look at, different books on different subjects that they can look through while they're there they may not have access to in other places. We have, like I said, some computer programs, iPads and things going in. So we really try to cater to as many different learning styles as possible to students in there.
And there are a couple of things I'd like to ask you to mention before we conclude our visit here at Sternberg, and one of them is memberships. Memberships are available for singles as well as families.
Yeah, so you can get information and sign up to be a museum member at our front desk, and they have forms you can get the thing filled out in a couple minutes and turned in right there, and those give you free admission to the museum for a year. They also will get you discounts on some of our programs that are going on this summer, as well as our science camps. We have discounts for members as well.
And there's a link between other museums in other states as well, right,
Yeah,
David?
so having a membership to the Sternberg will also get you discounted admission to other museums around the country. I know folks that will come in and get their membership here and then go to like the Field Museum in Chicago and be able to get a discount on their admission there.
Also, talk about the gift shop, because this is a place that really attracts kids as well as parents, I've got to say. Yeah,
so there's some really neat stuff that we have in the gift shop. There's some very accurate, like little models of dinosaurs that I have a collection of myself. There's some really good books in there. There's the Oceans of Kansas book for folks that are especially interested in the paleontology of the state of Kansas, which is by Mike Everhart. We also have all kinds of like rock samples, Fort Hayes and Sternberg Museum memorabilia that people can take home with like the tiger and the Pteranodon on it. All kinds of different
Any
t-shirts.
of those pop-up books still available that you got interested in?
I don't know if the one that I have is still available. I don't know where my uncle got that one, but we definitely have books that are catered to like older individuals that come in that are maybe really interested in the hard science, and we also have really good books that are more catering towards younger kids.
That one would be a classic now, I suspect.
Yeah, it's like they're in the swamps and they're dragging their tails around. It's definitely in no way accurate to our current understanding, but at the time I wasn't quite so concerned with all that.
And it's really what got you hooked.
Yeah, exactly.
David Levering, the Education Director at the Sternberg Museum of Natural History from the Exhibits Gallery. Thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall, and thanks for watching Community Connection.